Overkill is a cyberpunk blood-fueled mess of gore and wires, cybernetic augmentations with fun and unique weapons, extremely fast player movement, chainsaw legs, fuck you missiles, and some of the most addictive gameplay I have experienced in literal years. I haven't buried myself in a shooter like this since Doom 2016. In development by Trigger Happy Interactive and Apogee... What the fuck? What year is it? I don't even know, and I don't even care. This game is a blast. It's nice to see Apogee really back in action with quality games. I'm not even complaining. Johnny Turbo needs to clean up Paradise, a cyber city overrun by augmented minions under the cult control of the world's most advanced AI, Sin, who's looking to expand to world domination if not stopped here and now. Wall running, chainsaw leg augments, flying cars, and lots of boobs. I can get behind that. This title screen is wonderful. It's also the only time you get a look at what Turbo actually looks like. The game did drop the ball on me a few times though. That was pretty annoying. I've had plenty of issues. Thankfully, most of them could be solved by a simple no-clip to get unstuck from a place I never should have gotten stuck in to begin with, but whatever. But on occasion, I'd stop at a Gene machine to augment myself and the game would just freeze and crash, and I just... Fuck! This game is still in early access, though, and it is still technically in active development, so I'm gonna pretend like none of that happened. I'm not gonna lie, though, I was pretty pissed about that. I'm playing on Serve Me Pain because the next step up was virtually impossible for me when I started. Now that I've finished episode 1 like 15 times, I see now that Murder Machine is effectively not worth shit. But at the time, it was. Now, you can call me old-fashioned, but I very much prefer to be wined and dined before getting my balls crushed and my rectum stretched. This game will bend you over if you let it. The key here is to bend it over first.
We have arrived at Paradise. The Sin virus is rapidly expanding its reach into the city. Your assigned contract: purge the virus at any cost. Good hunting, sir.
Oh, I'm on the hunt, all right. I am on the hunt. I am armed to the teeth, strapped and ready to go. Let's fucking do this. You're gonna want to get accustomed to the movement speed as quickly as possible. It took me a second to really get into a rhythm. There's a cadence to which everything happens. They don't call him Johnny Turbo for no goddamn reason. You are extremely fast, and as a result, there's an element of precision that is almost required. This is almost exclusively micro-arenas stuffed into large and expansive levels that get larger and more expansive as you go further into it. Within seconds, you get to put that chainsaw leg to use. The chainsaw leg is crucial. Depending on your augments, it can restore health on chainsaw kills or even build up armor. Learn it well. Johnny, what the fuck? Okay, so if you see this, it's bugged. Swap weapons and swap back. That's a lot more annoying than it looks. You're also introduced to the shotgun, which is very similar to its ultra kill counterpart once you get the mod for it. It is essentially a shotgun that is used for jumping, and I fucking love it. As one would imagine, it's a weapon that'll remain relevant throughout the entire game. Not as relevant as the chainsaw leg, though.
The nearby biocore is located in the basement of the facility.
Oh, sorry, I was on a rampage. I didn't see you there.
For me, you merely flesh and blood.
AI with a god complex. Got it. Moving on. You might want to learn how to move and target at the same time with the revolvers, or any weapon, really. You're gonna die if you don't. The first 3 levels are drastically shorter than the ones that follow them. I do really like this ending hallway, though. It's ripped straight out of E1M1. That puts a smile on my face. And then we've got level 2, Emergence.
Hello, Johnny? We need this virus dealt with ASAP. Terratech stocks are plummeting. We can't pay you if we're bankrupt.
You know, the man makes a very solid point. Emergence is a really strong and memorable level. The dockside city slum environments lend a lot to both the atmosphere and the gameplay as well, creating longer distances for the player to traverse and get used to the abilities that they have at their disposal. I don't know why this encounter stands out to me so much. I don't know. It's cool. It's just fucking cool. That jumping chainsaw is a lifesaver. We got a new weapon to talk about here, the Uzis, which are great, but they're inaccurate as fuck. And it's cute because the game thinks I'm gonna use those instead of my chainsaw leg to take out all these techno junkies. I haven't really taken any legitimate punishment yet. Thankfully, the game autosaves seemingly every second. God damn it. Okay, so you know what happened there? I'm a fucking idiot. That's what happened there. Take a look at this. I knew those techno junkies were behind me, so I turned around at the top of the stairs and I missed a shotgunner on the corner of the screen because it all happened so fast. I took a shell to the back as payment. Never again. That's part of what I meant when I said that this game requires precision. It's extreme agility combined with sharpshooting, and it's unforgiving in that respect. You can go from dominating combat to having -8 health over the span of 2 fucking frames.
I have located another biocore in the vicinity. Once you have purged it, I will come pick you up.
The biocores are Sin's connection to the physical world.
A little busy right now. Holy fuck! A special entrance and everything. That's cute. Still gonna die, though. Bitch! And then this level ends with a shipyard gunfight that is just so goddamn cool. This will literally never get old. The next level's called Battle Alley. I'm really hoping things start to heat up a little bit. Rude. I found out here that Serve Me Pain is called that for a reason. I'd be playing on Murder Machine only a day later, but at the time, this made me want to iron my fucking hands. Just, ugh. So I die. Whatever. Let's run it again. God damn it. Fine, let's do it again. Motherfuck! So I got caught in a perpetual death loop for about 1.5 minutes. That was trash. This level is not exclusively small arenas because there are still lots of open-ended areas with avenues for you to dip when you need to, but this wasn't one of them. This kind of self-mutilation is something I'd adapt to only an hour later, but this definitely made me reconsider my difficulty choice. I did finally get my hands on the boomer, though. You know, it's sawed-off double-barrel shotgun, so it's a boomer. Makes sense. For some reason, the hand models are... The cybernetic hand is supposed to be the left hand, but right now, the right hand is the metal hand, and I am so confused. The boomer is great. You can cancel out the reload animations if you hot swap between your shotguns after firing them, and honestly, that's all I could have asked for. After that, you get the ability to wall run. I'm gonna let this animation play because I fucking love it. See? That's what I'm talking about. Do you see what I mean? The hand models, they were backwards. Wall running is a crucial mechanic, but it's not complicated and it doesn't need an explanation, so let's move on. Pro tip, folks, learn how to aim. Either that or end up like me, just sucking at basic functions. Once you get past all the goons in the subway, which killed me more times than I am comfortable with admitting, you get jumped by a brand new monster that's just as fast as you are. I had the microphone muted, but I'm almost certain that I cried. Much like the last 2 levels, Battle Alley seemingly ends before it even begins, really. Not without an awesome shootout, though. I I am pumped. I like this, and I am 100% ready to get my shit rocked by the next level. Let's fucking go. Look, I've learned from my mistakes, okay? The key to winning here is genuinely believing that you're invincible, and most of the time that works. Usually.
Would you like me to activate the machine guns?
No thanks, I think I got this one. It's time for some good old vehicular manslaughter. Who needs guns when you got a flying fucking car?
Nicely done, sir.
Open Season is, in my opinion, the first genuinely challenging level in Turbo Overkill. It is drastically larger and it is crammed full of augmented freaks. It also introduces you to a new weapon that I never use called the Twincendiary, which is literally just a chain gun that's also a flamethrower, and if that's not the most American thing to ever fucking exist, then I don't know what is. Pretty sure this might be the only footage I have of this thing. As long as you know where to go and what to do, then this will be a cinch, because you gotta get into this bank, right? But you gotta break the lockdown first.
The biocore is located in the central bank. However, there is no access to it until the district's lockdown is lifted. The control console is located in the nearby police precinct. Heavy droid security is expected. Maybe our off-world friend can pull some strings?
There's a qualified killing machine. I think you can handle it.
That's a polite way of saying go fuck yourself. I do think it is a little off-putting to have such a large amount of verticality in this level specifically and not provide the player with a waypoint so they're not just zooming around in circles wondering where the fuck they're supposed to go. If you're an idiot like myself, you'll get lost the first time through, but once you map it out mentally, it'll be there until you're dead. Now, drones. Priority targets for certain. Gotta hit them in the brain or they're not gonna die. These ones are easy to reach, but future drones, not so much. Drones are run killers. I fucking hate drones. We do get the fuck off wrist missiles here, though. That might be the single most powerful explosion in this game. After that, it's a simple matter of destroying Syn's tendrils around the door to the exit, and one of those arenas is by far, at least from my perspective, the most memorable in the whole game. As if the rest of the game hadn't already done this, it really showcases just how fluid and smooth the player movement actually is. Once you learn how to control that movement, the entire game just cracks open like a fucking walnut. And that's not even saying anything about that 1980s Cyber Beach vibe that it's got going. This is the coolest place in the entire game. God damn. So you just blow up two of these things and then the exit opens up. I didn't bother to show the other one because it's fucking boring. Now, the exit room. I cut out a lot of deaths here, I'll just say that. This was rough. This is the first encounter to really whip my ass into shape. And then these fucking things show up just to make my life more difficult. I don't even know what they are, but I hate them. And then finally it comes to a close with the player taking on two of the tankiest monsters in the game at the same time. Fucking finally, Jesus, that was a goddamn gauntlet. It's time to go, I've had enough of this fucking place. Dead Plaza's pretty cool. I guess. When you load into Dead Plaza, the player immediately contracts something I like to call straitjacket syndrome, which is where you're bottlenecked at the entrance of a hallway that leads into an open room, and trying to combat that typically punishes the player. It's usually fatal. It's just hordes of techno junkies and whatever the fuck these things are that keep killing me over and over because I keep trying to dodge and I keep just missing the fuck! You gotta understand, Turbo Overkill works best when it takes advantage of the numerous micro arenas that are built into the very foundation of every level, and Dead Plaza succeeds in that respect. Like this one, it's open and I can dash around. I don't feel like I'm a fucking golf ball being sucked through a straw. I can move, and that freedom of movement allows me to fuck these monsters up. This is a key part of what makes the game fun to play. But out of all the levels in this game, Dead Plaza took me the longest, and that's because this map utilizes a smaller number of arenas and an awkward number of long and winding corridors. They twist and turn in confusing ways and eventually lead into smaller, more condensed kill rooms that are far too tiny to be called arenas. It just left an odd taste in my mouth. It feels like hallway shooting, and if I wanted that, I'd just go play fucking Doom 3. Okay, that was a mean comparison. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm being too negative about this level, so here's another really good arena that kept me on my toes. I died here a bunch of times. This arena had me on my ass, just repeatedly pounding me into submission, demanding I come back better and faster. I fucking love it. And then there are the bullshit parts like this that I hate. Whoever did this, you're a cock. I mean, seriously, whose fucking idea was that? I just want to talk. Other than that, I don't really have that much to say about this level. It's not even bad, it just didn't do it for me. It did have the best ending arena in the entire game, though. This is fucking nuts. No, fuck! Alright, let me dust myself off. Let's try that one again. God damn it. I was on a fucking roll. That just... I'll be honest, I'm just glad that the next level is nowhere near as much of a slog.
Sir, we have arrived. The local biocore is located at the top of this apartment complex.
This is it. Episode 1 has reached its peak. Turbo Overkill is out of tricks, and from here on out, the game resorts to swarming you with techno junkies and tank-class monsters, because that's all it's got left. I wasn't really a huge fan of the beginning, because as previously discussed, I'm not really big on the whole narrow corridor thing. I really don't like the idea of being restricted, but thankfully it doesn't stay that way. You're gonna be seeing way more shotgunners, way more goons, and a strikingly large amount of mechs. There's also this opening arena that is straight fucking murder if you haven't done it before. I died so many times here, I lost count. Though I will say that at least half of those deaths were because of the fucking fog. I can't see shit. That's not the hard part though. This is the hard part. Shit! This was for real, at least for me, more challenging than the episode 1 boss. I'm not even joking. This is so vehemently simplistic in nearly every conceivable way. Strafe, shoot, rinse, repeat. These are almost instincts ingrained into an entire generation of players at this point, yet at the same time, it's also about the speed and fluidity of movement. Mindlessly strafing and shooting could easily get you killed because there's a balancing act going on behind the scenes here. The faster you move, the less precise you become. And on the flip side, the more precise you are, the slower you're gonna be. This entire game is just the player finding that perfect balance between the two, and there is a large amount of player skill required in balancing those two elements, mandating finesse, all while simultaneously demanding precision, lest you be punished for a fuck-up. I have never played a game quite like this. It just goes to show that Trigger Happy knew exactly what they were doing, and they had a deep understanding of what makes this kind of shooter entertaining and what gives it more replay value. And I could suck this game's dick for the next 20 minutes because it's fucking amazing, but I don't want this video to go on that long, so let's move on. There's a quick little arena battle once you get out to the apartment complex. That was fun. where the verticality of the level really starts to show itself, and it is the coolest thing ever. I mean, you are literally climbing a skyscraper. Ascension is a healthy mix of open areas and hallway shooting. I'm not really a big fan of the hallway part, but most of those hallways have at least one open side so I can move if I need to. It feels like a gunfight in a never-ending parking garage, climbing ramps and moving in an upward spiraling pattern. This is the type of environment that I didn't know this game needed until I experienced it for myself. The special entrance and everything, that's cute. Still gonna die, though. Bitch! I'd say the halfway point of the level is right about here.
Sir, I have located a large signal source in the heart of Paradise. It appears each biocore is doing some sort of handshake with this central source, something by the name of Artifact Zero.
Oh no! It can't be. No, that can't be good.
Care to elaborate?
A supercomputer. One of the most powerful we have ever produced. If Sin has gotten a hold of it, there is no telling what it might achieve with that unchecked power.
Yeah, so it's like I said earlier, unchecked AI with a god complex. Got it. My second favorite arena in this game, this extremely unsafe skate park at the top of a fucking skyscraper. This is a royal bitch and a half. You always want to take out the turrets and the gunners up top first so you've got some room to breathe, or it gets rough real fast. Now, you might have noticed there's not any real boss fights in this game, but I think this qualifies as one. Painfully easy, and just like that, Ascension is over. My only real gripe is that the player is so absurdly powerful at this point, the ending didn't feel very climactic.
Sir, could use some more assistance here.
Look, I don't care how cool that was, this level still fucking sucks. I have two positive things to say about the beginning of this map. First, the music slaps. Also, ignore that death, I didn't care enough to cut it out. Yeah, that music's cool, right? And the second positive thing is nothing because I lied and the first half of this level makes me want to iron my hands. It's just not fun because it's littered with little things that make it not fun. Like the flying car that is constantly soft-locking my game, or the fact that you don't get a single micro arena until more than halfway through the level. Or the flying fucking car. Now, I said I wasn't gonna bitch about that, so I'm not, but I did not have a good time at first. The first micro arena is this one right here. don't know how many fucking times I died there. I don't even want to talk about how long I spent flying in circles because I had no fucking idea where I was supposed to go once I got my car. And yes, I know the glowing yellow chains act as a waypoint, but it would have been nice if there was maybe an option to turn the fucking fog down, because I literally can't see shit. After that, you get stuck in this room for a half hour because the mandatory path is hidden behind a secret, which is a dick move, and that is just, it's fuck! About the only thing that makes this even remotely worthwhile is that your car has machine guns that just fuck everything up, assuming your car doesn't soft lock your game. But if you can just get past all of that, the second half of this level has some of the craziest arenas in the game. You want arena combat? You're gonna get fucking arena combat. Bitch! Arena design is the foundation of this entire game. It is just as important as the speed at which the game moves. Without either of those two, the game loses its adrenaline factor and it just turns into any other generic throwback shooter, just bland and only really capturing the cosmetic feel of what shooters were like 30 years ago. It makes me wonder why the game seemingly tries to avoid boss encounters until the end of the episode. Not just tanks and small rooms, I mean legitimate boss struggles, like this one. Fuck, I still have no idea why this game doesn't have a boss rush of some sort, because it's set up perfectly for it. I feel like that was a major missed opportunity, but who knows, maybe we'll get something special in episode 2. There's only 1 or 2 more arenas that actually matter to me, but this one was awesome. It's that fast and aggressive gameplay loop, dialed up past 10. If you're still playing Turbo Overkill at this point, it's because the combat is fueling you. If I'm being frank here, any other game would have lost its momentum by now, and this reminds me of Doom 2016 and Eternal in that sense, where the game is all based on its arenas and large numbers of monsters. There is something about the repetition here. It makes you want to keep playing again and again to get faster and better, doing its best to punish you. This level started off like shit, but it ends on a high note.
Bravo, sir. I am now able to locate Artifact Zero's exact position.
That's my cue. Time to get the fuck out of here.
We are nearing Artifact Zero. It is moving with rapid speed.
Artifact Zero immediately throws you to the wolves smack dab in the middle of a speeding train, but you made it this far. You don't need mercy of any kind. Shotgunners, techno junkies, and goons litter the path in front of you, complete with auto turrets and enforcers with chain gun arms. And that fucking music, it's just... oh my god, it's good. Every monster you've seen in-game up to this point is in this level, all of them spawning at the same time, 100% ready and willing to give you an unsanctioned prostate exam if you let it. But this level's only gonna bend you over if you allow it. You gotta bend it over first. If there was a level in this game to test your movement and reaction time down to a T, it's this one. almost blew myself the fuck up there. I'm not even lying. Look at this shit. Fucking pro player move. And here's my first Artifact Zero death. Yep, that's bullshit. Trying to fight two of the biggest bastards in this game on top of a moving train that has a kill wall on both sides if you go out too far is a special kind of mean. I mean, you want me to move around, but you don't want me to move around too much. That's just bullshit, right? If I survive this encounter, then your dick doesn't get hard. I get it. It's just, why would you do that? Motherfucker! They make up for it with the car platforming, though. This segment is just so intense because platforming requires so much precision. This was really, really well done. And one of the more memorable moments in the game, for me specifically. Artifact Zero is actually a lot shorter than it feels, seeing as the car platforming is about the halfway point. It seems longer because it has the single most grueling set of arenas back to back to back. I mean, they are just gruesome. This is some cock and ball torture kind of shit. Even on Serve Me Pain, this is fucking rough. Many of them are so infuriatingly unforgiving to the point where the game just starts handing out rockets like they're fucking candy. God damn it. Fine, let's do it again. Motherfuck! Don't ask me how that happened because I have no idea. I'm just convinced that the game fucking hates my guts at this point. And here's another prime example of that happening in real time. What the fuck was that? I gotta play it safe here. A fucking spitball would be enough to take me out right now. And speaking of spitballs, that's about how these rockets are feeling at this point. Don't be like me and forget that the micro missiles exist. This level really starts pushing back at you after the platforming section. Everything you've seen in games so far starts trying to stretch out your tailpipe, and if it's a big monster, you can guarantee they're gonna come in pairs. Or if it's techno junkies, it'll just be a group of about 6,000. Thankfully, I've got healing on chainsaw kills, so it's not really that big of a deal, but fuck am I starting to get tired. You know shit's about to go down when you find yourself in a room full of ammunition for your most powerful weapons and a key. Well, at least I know where to go now. Alright, one more for the road. Let's fucking do this. What a fucking pushover. Well, that's my cue. Let's finish this episode. Funny thing about bosses, except for this one, they are non-existent. The strange part is that the game is set up perfectly for a boss rush. I mentioned that earlier, and I do still feel like it would have added a lot to the game, but the core problem is that they wouldn't be able to effectively challenge the player in any meaningful way. At least not yet, not with the content in episode 1. So instead of just blabbing on about it, I figured I should just show it instead. I feel like that might better communicate what exactly it is that I mean. Yeah, those guys are pushovers anyway. It wouldn't have been much of a challenge to begin with. You know, normally 2 goons would not be threatening, but, well, yeah, there's Artifact Zero, so... Yeah, I don't want any part of that. I'm out. Fuck you guys. Jesus Christ, you're ugly. Artifact Zero is very easy, maybe a little too easy. Right up the jump pad and start shooting. Boomer, waster, boomer. Or the other way around, I honestly don't care. Provided you don't miss and you're close enough, 4 to 5 shells will take out one of its eyes. If you ask me, I think this would have been more challenging if I'd been swarmed by monsters as soon as the fight started. But enemy spawns are based on how many eyes you've destroyed, so the first half of this fight is effectively a freebie. Its attacks are so blatantly telegraphed to the point where if you can't avoid them, then you should probably go see an optometrist because you're fucking blind. Kinda like this one. All you gotta do is just hide behind the walls. Easy. You could just slide right under the energy field, so being on the ground isn't even remotely a problem. The only one that really kind of blows are the lasers. Those do kind of suck. But if you've got chainsaw healing, then you're golden. The fight's already over. It's just busy work at that point. You don't even really need to worry about controlling the crowd, because if you are consistently in the air attacking the boss's eyes, then you are consistently out of range. Legitimately, the only thing you really need to focus on is staying in the air. So that's what I did. So much so that there's another attack that I didn't get any footage of because I literally killed this boss so fast that it never got a chance to actually do it. The things that would normally be considered hazards are effectively rendered a non-issue. As long as you plan out what eye you're gonna hit and where you're gonna land, getting to the next jump pad literally takes less than a second once you hit the ground. And before you even know it, you've already popped all of its eyes and you're blasting Sin into another fucking dimension. What the fuck? Oh shit, I'm out of ammo. Magnums for the win! Okay, so apparently I lied. I did get footage of that attack. I also finished the fight at critical health, so get ready to listen to Johnny struggling to breathe.
Johnny? What's going on? I'm losing signals all over Paris.
Sir, I have lost control.
No, not my AI! I don't know what's in this box, but if there's anything important in this car, it's this AI. And just like that, Episode 1 is over. There is no happy ending. All you get is just Johnny Turbo having failed, and in this scenario, survival and the destruction of Artifact Zero doesn't necessarily qualify as a victory.
It would appear Sin has taken over Paradise. Readings of 932,000 new biocores are appearing. I think we're going to have to go with the nuclear option. Purge Sin from the source, plotting a course to the nearest starport. Good hunting, sir.
Episode 2 better step its game up. This was fucking incredible. I need more of this. Except for rooftops, I don't want any more of that.